Hello Cherries fans, hope you're doing well. This Saturday is a massive game. Is it a relegation six-pointer? Either way, the Cherries are welcoming the Clarets and both teams are below the dreaded dotted line at the moment, along with Sheffield United. Neither of us really probably expected to be there after this amount of games, but it's fair to say it's a must-win for AFC Bournemouth. Is Andoni Iraola's future on the line? We don't know, but we need to get a perspective from the Burnley point of view. So to talk about it, we have got huge Burnley fan YouTuber Liam, aka Vizzer. How are you doing, sir? You all right? Long time no see.
I'm doing great, as well as I can be, in the relegation zone, like yourselves. This league is great. I'm having a fantastic time. I'm just happy to speak to a Premier League fan that just isn't just looking down on us, really. At least we have some common ground here, so I'm looking forward to it.
I've always said that the journey is better than the destination, and having an amazing championship season is brilliant. And then you get to the Premier League, you think it's going to be great. Obviously, you know there are going to be some bad weeks, but just like Bournemouth, you've had a lot of bad weeks. But I've been looking through your results. You can put it into a bit of context. I mean, you've sort of got points where you maybe should be expecting them, maybe barring Brentford last weekend.
Yeah, that's the lines that have been thrown out in the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if that is. It's all well and good saying that. Oh, we've had a tough fixture list. Oh, look, we've played some pretty tough teams, but majority of them are at home, and we are losing not just by a loss, but with a whimper in the vast majority, other than debatably United, and even that entire second half, I can't tell you a single highlight because the game completely passed us by. So it's all well and good saying, yeah, we face tough teams, but it just adds more pressure onto those games that are quote unquote winnable. And really, every team in this division is good. Every team in this division is tough because, I mean, we've spent 100 mil and we're 18th. You spent a ton of money as well. You're 19th. So it's like, it's not like there's really any easy games here. And when you, like us last weekend, go to Brentford and get absolutely battered by far the worst performance this year so far, it just adds even more pressure to it because you can't say each game is a bye against a tough team because ideally that ranks out 80% of the division. Because really, it's just me, it's Burnley, it's Luton, it's Bournemouth, it's Sheffield United. That is pretty much what everyone is instantly. It's not even November yet. It's saying, there you go, that's the four. And it's one of them will have to stay up. Do we deserve it?
Yeah.
Probably not. But one of us will have to. So that's what we're going to find out on Saturday.
Yeah. Do you sometimes? We obviously, in the eyes of the media, we got rid of Gary O'Neill, and it was deemed ludicrous. It was deemed unfair, and then you see him doing so well at Wolves, and then he goes to Dean Court and he beats us on our own turf, and everyone's saying, "Oh, we should have got Gary back." And look, he played with a style that was very pragmatic, and it did get results in certain games, as did Sean Dyche. Do you sort of sometimes wish you had that pragmatism in games? Because I gather Vincent Kompany, he's sticking to his principles. He's playing the free flow and attacking game, but obviously that kind of style does get punished a fair bit.
I'm pretty sure if I lean in any way that gives any idea that I would prefer Sean Dyche to Company in any aspect, I may get stabbed to death in Burnley. So I don't think I want to give that off. But I understand the fact that, yeah, there are times that Burnley fans are asking questions in terms of why exactly are we still committing so much that we know that we've not got the quality to do that in this division. We're playing against Spurs, Villa, and Chelsea at home and all these teams. And it's just like we are almost even more aggressive in our press, even more aggressive with how many players we commit forward than what we did in the Championship. And the same system that we had back in Championship, you would think if it is going to change or be adapted, it'll be, to be a bit more, a bit more rigid, a bit more structured. Yeah. And my God, it's gone the other way around. We've actually got more committing forward because it's like we almost have more belief in our ability, which we got some talented young players. So does yourself. We're actually very similar in terms of the kind of players that we have, that we got some young players that have got ability, but they're raw, they're inexperienced, and you are expecting what is a very young team. I think we're the youngest team in terms of our average age in the division. You're expecting us to find our way out in the hardest and most competitive league in the entirety of the world. They're being thrown in the deep end, and it's sink or swim time, and maybe two may swim, but every week that goes by, you're just killing their confidence, and that's what makes this game this weekend. It's not even a 6-pointer for me. I already consider this if we lose this game convincingly, like Brentford, and we're down, because it's just going to be such a massive confidence hit for us because we are such a young team. And unless if I see some things from Company that makes me think he's trying to adapt this and to actually change the way that he thinks a little bit, because he's still a young manager as well. He's a young manager. He took a chance on us, so we got to take a chance on him as well, and to hope that everything sorts itself out wonderfully in some magical world.
I mean, are Burnley fans having the same conversation as Bournemouth fans? Because we're saying, well, there are three worse teams than us, so it's going to be absolutely fine this season. And I bet you each of the Luton saying it, Sheffield United, Burnley, etc. That's what we're saying. But obviously, we're not concentrating on ourselves here because some of our performances for the first 5-6 games, we were seeing elements of Andoni Iraola in this organised chaos, this free-flowing attacking football, down the wings, overlapping, crosses into the box. But then, in the last 3 games, it's been non-existent. It's been like we're going backwards. First game against Arsenal, where we got battered on our own turf. You can quantify that a little bit. It's Arsenal, Champions League team. But then when you face Everton and it's so poor, and then specifically Wolves, we really struggled. So, yeah, we don't know where we're at with the manager. I mean, is Vincent Kompany under pressure here, or is his job going to be safe? Because he did wonders last season, right?
As far as a fan base is concerned, we have its back, because Burnley fans, similar to Sean Dyche, is the same mentality of if we do go down and he's the best man to get us back up again. Same thing with Sean Dyche. No matter how bad it got, it's like, well, look, if we do go down, then he's the best manager to get us back up again. So the same idea will be put with Vincent Kompany. And again, he's a young manager as well, that we've seen lots of talent with him. Fans will have no concerns, but we will have questions. You can ask questions and still back him the same way and hope that he fixes the mistakes that he's made so far. And there's been a few that's questioned the fan base a lot. In terms of the board, however, I mean, the Alan Pace in the documentary and everything online, interviews, says how much he loves him, and he compares him to his wife and all that. But we all know that this is it's a winning sport. You got to win.
Yeah.
And it's not only... you can't, as Burnley fans, we used to always use the excuse that we're not spending money compared to our competitors. We've spent almost 100 million quid. Maybe that's exactly. There's no excuse here. And if anything, we've got much worse compared to our team last year, just because too much has changed too fast. Our team that started last week against Brentford, only 2 were starters in our team last year. The team that won the championship with 101 points. It's too much, too fast, and you're not only doing too much, too fast, but you're doing it with players that don't know what to do as well because they're not experienced. It's a recipe for disaster when you really put it like that, and there's no surprise of why we are where we are right now.
Yeah, you know what? Too much changing too fast. That rings true with AFC Bournemouth as well, because we've got changes off the pitch with our new ownership, and we brought in these new players. Sometimes you wonder if they get the system that they're being told to play, and in terms of team togetherness, I mean, look, I don't want to be condescending, but the phrase "teams like Luton" will always be bounded around the Premier League because, look, they're a smaller side. They didn't spend as much, but it's clear that they've got an abundance of team spirit, and they're getting results like their 2-2 draw at the City Ground against Forest was brilliant, coming back from 2-0 down, and they seem to have that. Do Burnley have that at the moment?
We've not seen that so far this year, other than against Luton itself. Against them lot, basically if we concede a heads drop, it felt like so far. And in that game, we conceded at the 82nd minute or something. We 1-0 up, went to 1-1, and then instantly, not even 10 seconds off the kickoff, the ball went up to Lawson, and he just said, fuck it, and just back blasted it from 25 yards out. Now, that wasn't a moment of like anything, that was just individual brilliance. Nothing created that other than literally just a player just saying, why not? And then that got us 3 points in a massive game. And that's it, really, so far. I mean, I think we're the second in the table when it comes to most points lost. We've gone 1-0 up in quite a few games, and we just cannot make it pay. Maybe we can't stick because our defense is our fundamental key problem. We insist on passing out from the back with players that are neither not good enough or haven't got the belief to do so, because once they make one mistake, they then get into their little hole basically and not play it safe. And once you play it safe in the way that we want to play, that's when you die. And that's what we've been stuck in so far.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we all know that you were the victim of a certain tweet from AFC Bournemouth where you predicted the league table at the start of the last season, and you thought that we'd get relegated, as did many, including a number of Bournemouth fans, to be honest. Um, but this season, not many actually put Bournemouth anywhere near the bottom three. What were the sort of media views on Burnley? Because I think when we did our own league table prediction on back of that, we thought you'd be all right because of that style of football that you've been playing in the Championship, and we thought that you'll get some success. But what was the media's opinions? Did they think it was going to be a tough season for you? Did anyone have you down?
I don't think many people really had us down from my memory. Most people just always thought Luton and Sheffield United, and they thought it'd be one of Everton or Wolves from the vast majority that I saw. That was the main that was the main predictions, because Wolves, they were really, really poor at the second half of last year, and they just couldn't really score any goals. That's why people thought Wolves. And Everton, we all know Everton because they are just always a chaotic, and they didn't really do much in the window either, so they can't really get much better. But yeah, when it comes to Burnley, people thought that we've got a young, exciting manager that wants to play good football. We've got a young, exciting team that did really well in Championship. It wasn't just a team that scored all the goals. Like, people compare us to Norwich. We had the best defensive record last year too. We had the best attack, most goals scored, least goals conceded, right? So we were good on both ends, and we invested in our team. Did we invest too much? It appears like that could be the case. And yeah, even in the first game or two against like City, people were looking at us thinking, yeah, it'll be fine. Like, we tried to play against City with full on confidence, passing up from the back and giving them no respect, pressing high at the pitch. And that may seem quite naive to do against City, of course, but people are like, okay, there's something there. There's something there. And there's elements of that still there that we keep trying, but it's like it lasts the first 15, 20 minutes. And if it doesn't go our way, then we make one mistake, because in this league you do get punished quite fast. It's like it just kind of goes the opposite direction.
So is it fair to say, and we probably say this about our own manager, we haven't had chance to witness a plan B yet? Is that the same for you?
I can probably say similar to that as well. I think we're basically the same club at this stage, it feels like.
Yeah.
Or the similar parts of our squad at this stage of the year that we're not a long ball team. This is of course not the Burnley that people know of. You know that because you saw us last year in the FA Cup. And yeah, when you saw us play last year, we were a very different team to Sean Dyche, and we played good football, and we actually wanted to. We had complete belief in our system, and we knew where players would be. And that's not what we have right now, because players either number one doesn't know the system because they're all new, or they simply just don't work well together. For this game, a lot of Burnley fans, like myself, are saying just simply go back to basics. The team that got us here in the first place, play them. Like, for example, you saw him last year, Anas Saruri, who, I don't know what your thoughts on him were, but a lot of people really like him. I love him. I think he's really good. He's not played once this year. He's been just a bench player that's played the last 5-10 minutes, if that. And that's been maybe in 2-3 games been subbed on. Like, he's not been given a chance. He got given a new deal, just played exceptionally well, got us to Premier League, and now he's not playing. Same thing for Aaron Muric, a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He went to Bournemouth. Was he? I think he's no. He would have been Peacock Foul against you guys. It would have been the cup. Even still, that's a fundamental part. We pass off the back, and we're so confident. Muric may not be the absolute best keeper in the world, but in terms of distribution, he is elite level. Yeah. And that hinders us because we are too slow out from the back. Because Trafford is a good shot stopper, but he's very easily limited when it comes to crosses in the box. He's very young and skinny, so he just gets bullied. So
we are the same club. We are the same club because we're having the same conversations about Neto at the moment, who's got experience. Barcelona, all these clubs he's played for, always as a number 2, by the way. And now he's been given the starting berth for Bournemouth. He's club captain as well, and we're having serious question marks, and we're sort of wondering whether he'll even start on Saturday. So, from a Bournemouth perspective, what's the best way to get at Burnley on Saturday? Like, how are we going to get our success?
I mean, the best way is to simply try to stop us playing off the back. And once you stop that, you stop everything because we're not going to hoof it up. So we're going to keep trying to do it. And if you can stop us at our route, which is out from the back and just get in our faces, you need to be a bit physical. I don't know if you are a physical side in a way that other clubs could be, but if you show that you're not going to show us any respect and you make us feel uncomfortable, then that's usually when we start just making more and more mistakes. So yeah, like set pieces. Again, we're not the greatest at because we've got quite a young and small team. So if you're good at set pieces, you're gonna be physical and you're gonna be really good in the press and be really structured at it because we can pass off the back. Out of every 10 times, 7-8 times we're good. But it's that 1 or 2 times that we make a mistake in a fateful area. I think you scored in the FA Cup last year from a goal that came from one of our mistakes out from back. I think
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
So that basically that really happened last year because we play against championship teams. So either they didn't press that well to make that situation happen, or if we did make a mistake, they weren't good enough to make it count. You did. Now imagine that situation last year against us. That's happened in every single game this year, at least 5 times. So that's what's happened basically.
Yeah, Premier League's a different animal, isn't it, in terms of ruthlessness? If you could pick out one player that's star man for Bournemouth fans to keep their eyes on tomorrow, who would you be calling out for?
I mean, I do need to also say this as well. Like, I am coming across as really like down and like really like punching down my club right now. That's because I thought, the 5 stages of grief in that Brentford game. I went through all of it, all the 5 stages. I went through the entirety of it. You probably did the same against Wolves. So this stage, I'm in acceptance. So anything other than a draw, a win is a massive win for me. It's a bonus. Yeah. So, if I have no hope, I can't get hurt. So we've got some great players. Like, we do have some great players. Like, I love Amdouni. Amdouni, I think if he was at a different club, he would be an exceptional player. I think he scored 6 in 6 for Switzerland in the European qualifiers. Like, he's a fantastic player, but he just doesn't get the ball in the right areas. But if he can get the ball in some decent areas in middle of the park, he can turn. He can make things happen. If he gets some space to get into it, he can make things happen. So Amdouni, I think, would be the one that can make something happen in this game. I hope so where he starts, but that's not a guarantee. Lyle Foster is our main focal point up top as a main striker. He's got all the attributes that company loves. He's a workhorse. He will run the entire game, and he's got some physicality to him as well. He can hold the ball. It's just a final product that can be a bit inconsistent, but that's our entire team right now. Kolyosha, if he starts, is a great runner. He's got a lot of energy and will keep running at actually right back the entire game and just keep on asking questions. And I don't know who your right back is for this game. Who would it be?
Probably Max Aarons, I suspect.
That could be a good little duo for him because, he's I don't know how good he is exactly defensively. So that could be a game that he can target. So, yeah, if anything will happen, it'd be, if it's Max Aarons versus Kolyosha, that could be the 1v1 duel that may decide the game.
Interesting. Yeah, certainly Amdouni, I think, with our lack of a proper CDM, because we signed Tyler Adams. He's out till March. Lewis Cook was suspended after a stupid headbutt in the last game. So we're going to be going with Joe Rothwell maybe. So yeah, it's tricky to know how it's going to be. I think there's going to be lots of little duels all over the pitch. I'm going to ask you for a prediction. I'll give you a head and a heart one if you want, because it seems like you want your team to win, obviously, but you're sort of maybe being a bit realistic as well.
I think for this game, I've got more faith than I would against any other team because I just feel like Bournemouth could be a team that we have more of a chance because I don't think you're the most physical. So I mean, maybe you are. I think that you got quite a young team similar to us. Yeah. So I feel like we both could be facing the same challenges at the same time for different reasons. But in comparison to most other clubs in the league, you're probably who I compare us to the most in terms of what stage our current squad is in. So I'm confident in the fact that I think that we can play some good football against you guys, especially the fact that you are missing that main core DM, which I think is a massive key part that we can actually take advantage of. So in terms of predictions, if I don't go for a win in this game, then I won't against any other team really at this stage.
Yeah.
Because against a Luton or Sheffield United, I think physicality wise, set pieces they're gonna make they're gonna make it pay. Are you that particularly great on set pieces?
No. Or defending them, by the way.
Yeah, so neither are we. So it's like I feel like you are the best chance we have to actually see, can we play football in this division? Can we play that way? Because the system that company wants to play, we can't really see because the route gets killed off because we can't really build up the play to actually get the ball into the wide areas so we can actually see what they actually want to do when you have some possession. We don't have the time because we haven't been given that time. So maybe this weekend could be the one chance that we can actually see what we actually are aiming to do here. So I'm gonna go for a win, even after just completely, dashing my team for the entire last 20 minutes. But if I don't go for winning, I don't know when I will. So I'm gonna go for, I think it'll be a tough game. We'll definitely concede. I'm gonna say 2-1 Burnley.
Yeah,
we'll definitely concede. There's no way. It'd be 2-1.
I think I think it is going to be two teams that are very similar, and I think in many ways will cancel each other out. I'm just hoping that home advantage might be just what edges it for us, but either way, I think it's going to be close.
You've not won yet this year, have you?
No, we haven't. Well, only in the Carabao Cup, and you're still in the Carabao Cup. I think you got Everton, haven't you, in the next round?
Yeah.
We got Liverpool.
And Sean Dyche, that'd be fun. Set pieces. I can't wait.
Oh, lovely. Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure. It should be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be first on match of the day. That's just what I'm guessing.
It could be a 3-3. Like you try and play some attacking football, and so do we. And we both have probably, as it seems like, awful defenses. So it could be a 3-3. It could be I'm looking at your team now. I'm like, have I given you hope for this game, or do you think that I've like jinxed it? Well, like I'm like, like when you play against a team and they're like, don't worry, you'll batter us, don't care about it. Like QPR last year, like they was like, you'll batter us 5, who cares? And they beat us 1-0 when like we were already up. So, is that happening here or what?
We're just not a side that's exuding any confidence at the moment. I think the style of football that Iraola wants to play, it does rely on the players being confident. And at the moment, we're making so many individual errors, and with the lack of a DM at the moment, I think the whole team's compensating mentally, thinking they can't maraud forward like they usually would. Therefore, we haven't got that sort of attacking impetus that we would usually have. So I think, whoever scores the first goal in this, I mean, I said that against Wolves and that proved to be wrong, but in this match specifically, I think it will be key. So I'm going for a 2-1 as well, but obviously in favour of the side in red and black shirts.
Is he definitely going to be in charge, your manager? Will he definitely still be there?
He'll be there for the game. Yeah, he'll be in charge. But
this is last chance saloon. If he doesn't win, then it's done.
I don't even think a draw is going to be enough. And look, our owner is flying in from Las Vegas for this, as I said, and he's one that doesn't suffer fools gladly. He will pull the trigger if he needs to, and he did say it's on me if it doesn't work out after getting rid of Gary O'Neill and having this new guy in. So we'll see. Fans really want it to work, but it's not quite ticking at the moment. It's hard when he's not got the players that he sort of needs, like back in action, but we will see.
Do you think it's Adams that's the main one he's missing, or is there someone else that is injured or suspended that is out?
It's mainly Tyler Adams. We have got a couple of others out, either due to suspension or long-term injury, but really, that's now the key. The problem is at the moment with the system that we've got, we've got so many wingers. It's unbelievable the amount of wingers that we've got.
We got 18 wingers, but there's just one left back, so we're fine. Same thing.
However, if Dom Solanke gets injured, we are screwed because we've got to play. That means Kiefer Moore will be up front for a whole 90 minutes, and we play to a Dom Solanke style. So our recruitment's being questioned in places as well. Like so many wingers. A lot of rotation, therefore there's no consistency as well. So we just need a win, but then so do you as well. So, God,
we got to see it. We got 8. I mean, we got like Nathan Redmond here. Don't know why he's here.
Ex-Southampton, yeah,
not played at all. He's just there. I think he's just there for purely mentorship reasons. I have no idea. We played. We had Andros Townsend as a trialist the entirety of preseason, played every single game, and then was let go. Like he was offered, he wasn't even offered a contract. Like I think he was initially, then was like, actually, we're going to back away because he wanted to. Like Townsend wanted it, so it's like, like we had an entire preseason. We played him almost every game as a trialist, and then was like, okay, have fun. So like, and then we signed 18 other wingers that just don't play. So yeah, it's very similar. Very similar.
It would be so typical if Nathan Redmond or Jay Rodriguez was to get the winner, because he always scores at Dean Court. Rodriguez, ex Southampton for Burnley and stuff. So, but I don't, whether he'll be playing or not, that who knows. But I tell you what, it's going to be a tasty game. Vizir, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure you're going to be watching probably from behind your sofa through the gaps in your hand.
I've got a match I got to play like 2 hours beforehand, so I'll be on the way home. But one final thing that I just remembered as well is the fact that both our centre-backs, our key centre-backs, are like out injured, and our right back in Roberts is also suspended too. So we got a backup centre-back pairing with also a backup right back as well, with a left back that wasn't even wanted to be a club in the first place, that didn't even start in the Championship in Charlie Taylor. So have fun.
You give me hope.
There's no way you're not scoring. There's simply no chance. There's simply no chance.
Oh, God, you made me feel almost optimistic. Thank you for coming on. Make sure you check out our channel. You're probably subscribed already, but if not, the link is in the description below. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it.
Cheers, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because tomorrow is the opposition preview with myself, Tom, and Tix at the Cherries.